Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, like and subscribe. I know you want it. So for those who've been keeping up with the whole Rosanna, Trisha Paytas and TANA MONGEAU situation, Rosanna recently went on a podcast, apologised to Trisha Paytas, but has doubled down on TANA MONGEAU. So for those who don't know what's going on, because I did not, this isn't really something I've been keeping up with. I literally have no idea who Rosanna is. I only just saw some people talking about it online, and I watched the Trisha Paytas podcast and saw all the details going on and Trisha Paytas addressing it. It all started with TANA MONGEAU went on Trisha Paytas' podcast, started speaking about Escape the Night. Rosanna is someone who was there, and TANA MONGEAU spoke about Rosanna quickly, just like off the cuff, like nothing serious, just having a chit chat. Trisha Paytas bleeped her name out of the episode, but Rosanna apparently was really offended by this. So I'm going to play a quick clip of TANA talking about her on Trisha Paytas' podcast right here for you guys.
And so of course I'm like on my way, I'm like, I can't feel my hands in the car, I'm so tired, you know, and I'm just like, okay, what, but still excited, like so excited. And I get there and all of them I have different histories with and like love. Like I was having a great time on set with all of them, I will say. Yeah. But I show up at 9 a.m. and then I podcasted about this too. I walk in and I love it's 9 a.m. downtown LA and I haven't slept for an hour, and she's telling me about how she just and I podcast about this, and then all the comments are like, she's talking about never do that, she's lying. And I'm like, why? Where do you people get off thinking that I would make that up?
I have a text that says that. She texted me that's what she was doing. Yeah.
And so then I'm like, okay, whatever. And
Rosanna was really annoyed about this and went on a whole tirade. They went on their own podcast, called TANA out, said they're lying about everything they're talking about was Escape the Night. They got quite funny with Trisha Paytas as well, and this is what annoyed Trisha Paytas.
Downtown LA, I immediately, I say no to everything. Even if it's my own shoot, I'm like, anywhere but downtown LA.
Yes, I hate it. It's so far. It's so
dangerous. Even during the day, people just get like robbed. Like it's crazy. Yeah.
It is just like, it is a different world. I hate it.
I think it's just kind of like a snotty thing.
Yeah.
Like I don't even want to drive to that part of town.
They're above that too.
So Trisha Paytas then addressed it on her podcast. Apparently Rosanna and Trisha Paytas are like really good friends. Never knew. Apparently Rosanna's been in Trisha Paytas' podcast. I don't always watch Trisha Paytas' podcast because she interviews a lot of people that I just don't know. And if she interviews Terry J, I'm going to watch that. You know what I mean? But like if it's someone like Rosanna who I have no idea who she is, I'm not going to watch it. So I did not know they're really good friends and they've been making episodes of each other and stuff like that. So I'm going to play a clip of Trisha addressing Rosanna's podcast episode right here.
I was so mad. I was so angry. And I haven't gotten mad or angry in so long. I usually don't. Especially this kind of stuff like Hot Topics. It's like, oh, whatever. It's a key. It's not that serious, whatever. But this one just felt so personal. And it was, everyone was asking me to talk about Rosanna talking about TANA lying. That was all my comments. And I was like, oh, like, what is this? So this whole thing with TANA and Escape the Night is, I mean, it's just, it's like everywhere now, and everyone's like inserting themselves. And I thought we were done with it, basically. Joey was on my podcast. TANA came in that same day. They had the stories about, TANA being verbally assaulted, basically, and uncomfortable on the set of Escape the Night. It went back and forth, and then eventually the resolution was Joey got a statement, or Oscar got a statement from Joey, and Joey said, he sent flowers to TANA and apologized. So it kind of was squashed. So then I guess Rosanna, I guess it was her podcast. They weren't in the studio, but I guess they were doing a podcast. They had microphones and they were reacting. It was her and her long-term boyfriend, Mike. At first I didn't see her talk about me. I saw her talking about TANA, and obviously I'm friends with TANA, and I would say we're friendly. You know what I mean? Like we don't hang out outside of the podcast, but every time I see her, I love her, and she's been so great, and me and TANA have a podcast. So my initial reaction was to defend TANA as I would anybody in this situation. But basically, Rosanna was calling out TANA for lying about her Escape the Night treatment. And it was a tough watch. It was a tough watch because there was something that happened that was inappropriate on the set. Everyone knew. Rosanna was like, she told us weird stuff happened that day on the set. She's like, yeah, TANA just came to us and said weird stuff happened. And Mike's like, we don't know what the weird stuff was, but she said weird stuff. So obviously there was something. Joey knew an issue. Rosanna herself says Joey addressed it on set, and that was it. It was, an error, but he fixed it. Just giving so much grace to this production of Escape the Night, and really so much victim shaming on TANA's on Rosanna's part to TANA and Mike's too. They admit that they weren't down there when anything was happening. They admit that she was alone with this guy down there, and yet they still were just saying how much she was a liar. They just kept calling her a liar.
They were dissecting her story. When she's on her podcast, which is for entertainment, and it's her story to tell, so it's her right to tell it however she wants to. If she wants to add, it was 50 feet away or 100 feet away, like whatever details, she can tell it the way she wants to. It's her story to
But
tell.
I don't even think she was meaning to
No,
do
but
it.
what I'm saying is like they dissected her story as if that was in court evidence. Like, oh no, it was, she said it was 50 feet, then she said 100 feet, so she's a liar. I'm like, that's not the point of her story. And if she wants to exaggerate, change it a little bit, maybe she doesn't remember at the moment, because also when trauma happens, you don't remember everything.
And I couldn't tell you the difference between 50 feet or 100 feet. I don't know how far away you are from me now.
But the thing is, so they dissected everything up to the moment that the thing happened, and then they said we weren't there.
Yeah.
We didn't see what happened. And then they dissected everything that happened after. I'm like, that is the main thing.
Yeah.
That is the story.
She was alone with a man that made her uncomfortable, that verbally assaulted her, that verbally told her inappropriate things, and nobody else was in the room.
So why?
But they basically, they admitted that they weren't there, but so much of it was, oh, she was chained up. It's like, and the faces, the mocking, all of it made me so mad. I was so mad because Rosanna, to me, up to this point, has been nothing but like so sweet and kind and very like compassionate and empathetic, and just like giggling, making faces, saying no, that didn't happen. They're like, that didn't happen, that's just a lie. And I was like, but you guys also said you weren't there, so like, how do you know? Then I got brought into it, and all of a sudden I think Rosanna then attacking me kind of made me feel some type of way, because she twisted things that I said, which I was really upset about, because I think Rosanna and I, like I said, privately we're closer than we are publicly, in the sense that she does share personal stuff with me, and I share personal stuff with her, and we've gone to each other's houses. We know each other's families. So, and every time she's been brought up on this show, you know, even if she says kooky things, I do try to see Rosanna's defense, because I know her as a person. I'm like, or I thought I did. I was like, this person has a pretty good heart. Rosanna's first podcast episode was like, I smoked my dad. An outrageous title, which she knows it's outrageous. You know what I mean? And so when I was talking about the text, I was like, yeah, I mean, because we were talking about her whole thing. She went on a whole thing about smoking her dad, you know, like she planted her dad's ashes, and it's a beautiful thing. I was always supportive of it, but to turn it around and say that I was like making fun of someone who lost their dad to leukemia, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard, the most insulting thing I've ever heard, because in all my trolling years, all the crazy I've said and done, I've never once mocked or laughed at anyone losing their parent, especially Rosanna, who's like a friend of mine who I know well. Like it was just such an outrageous title. And I was like, yeah, she even texted me that title, but to her, it just hurt me so bad. It hurt me so bad because that was so taken out of context. And then the other thing, to make it seem like I'm above people because I said I was scared to go, or that I don't go to downtown LA. That's a hard rule that I've always had. And to Rosanna flip it, be like, oh, she's so above it to not go to LA. Like, I don't like that she won't drive to a certain location. Well, Rosanna, I had a really traumatic sexual assault experience down in downtown LA. From the ages of 18 to 21, I've had 3 sexual assault experiences happen in downtown LA. The violent crime has risen down there. That's why it's me feeling unsafe. It made me upset, and I'm so in shock right now. I really don't know what to say. It sucks, and I don't want it back and forth, and I don't care if they make 5,000 videos of me or whatever. I don't want it. But it was something was said about me, and it wasn't right, and I want to clear the air, and I apologize. And Rosanna, like truly, I am so sorry if you think that was ever a thing about me making fun of you for your dad dying. It's just so far from me, and I'm so sorry, and I don't even know why we were friends. If you think that is something that I could even, I don't know.
So as you guys can see, Trisha Paytas is really not happy with Rosanna. I'm assuming they're not friends anymore. I just think Trisha Paytas just has a really bad reputation of picking their friends. Like, she needs like help with making friends and like finding good people. Like, you know, Colleen, this Rosanna, Shane Dawson, all these people just stab her in the back. Like, she needs help with making friends, because every friend she becomes close with just seems to be a weirdo, like every single one. But anyway, so that was the last situation. That only happened a few days ago. Everyone's been talking about that. Trisha Paytas addressed it. And then what's happened recently, literally a few hours ago, Rosanna went back on a podcast and addressed Trisha Paytas talking about her on her podcast, and this is what she had to say about it.
I actually agree with Trish. I just saw on her latest video that she posted that I don't want to make drama videos going back and forth and back and forth. Like, I reached out privately to Trish and apologized for anything that I said that upset her. I told her in my message that I thought she agreed with TANA about being illegal and a cannibal, and I thought they were sitting together and laughing and making fun of me on her podcast.
I walk in and I love it's 9 a.m. downtown LA and I haven't slept for an hour, and she's telling me about how she just, and I podcast about this, and then all the comments are like, she's talking about never do that. She's lying. And I'm like, why? Where do you people get off thinking that I would make that up?
I have a text that says that. She texted me that's what she was doing. Yeah.
But after hearing Trisha's response, I believe her. I believe that she wasn't judging me or making fun of me. I'm not upset with Trish. I am upset with Tana. I also told Trish that I was sorry to hear about what happened to her downtown LA because I didn't know that information. She shared her deeper feelings about it, and then I shared my deeper feelings with her. I expressed to her that I grew up in a very poor area with a very high crime rate. And this is something that's sensitive to me too, because I was constantly talked down to and treated very poorly for much of my life because of it. So to hear people like Tana talk down about the people who live downtown, as in the rickets of LA, it just brought back a lot of hurt.
You walk in and the production company is all men from like the rickets of Los Angeles.
Tana was talking about them like they were less than. She was saying like, ew, gross, I have to work with people that are from the rickets of LA.
Like, and it was just like very creepy, like I just, the vibes with every interaction I had with every single person.
A lot of people don't understand where I grew up and how I grew up because it's honestly something that I don't really want to think about. I've worked really hard to get to the place I am now in life, and I feel more comfortable opening up about my past.
So as you can see, it's a little bit petty, honestly. Like Trish Paytas talking about downtown LA and stuff like that. Like, I mean, Trish Paytas did address it. You know, she has the reasons why she doesn't like downtown LA. And you know, once again, it's not that deep. Like people are allowed to like not want to go to an area. I was just like, who cares, right? Like, are we that sensitive? I think Rosanna is clearly just milking this because her podcast is like hardly getting views, and she knows that Trish Paytas' podcast are doing way better, so she wants to put Trish Paytas and TANA MONGEAU's name in the titles of her podcast videos to just get views. I think that's clearly what's going on here. So she's just going to milk this situation, try and get as much views out of it as she can. Just basically apologise to Trish Paytas, and she's doubling down on TANA MONGEAU that she's a liar and she's exaggerates everything, and TANA MONGEAU is awful. And you know, and don't get me wrong, I'm not like the biggest fan of TANA MONGEAU. She's done a lot of stuff in the past I do not agree with at all. But you know, she's allowed to have her own experience. If she really didn't have a good time on the Escape the Night and weird things happened to her, she's allowed to say that. Apparently everyone on the set of Escape the Night was also aware that TANA MONGEAU had this weird experience with this guy, so it's like well known, everyone knew about it, and Joe Graceffa apparently handled it, so we don't really need to talk about it anymore. It just seems like she's just inserting herself in a situation because she just wants views out of it. That's what it seems like for me. So yeah guys, that is the updates on this whole situation, everything that's happened at the moment. TANA MONGEAU may address it on her cancelled podcast. I think she probably will, or she might just not. Who knows? We'll see. I'll keep you guys updated if you guys are interested in this content. Let me know down below what are your guys' thoughts on this situation. Do you want me to make some more videos covering this drama? And yeah guys, that is it for this video. Like and subscribe to my channel for more of me. Know you want to, baby. Hit the bell notification to be notified on your screen with a new video, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.